Good morning, it's Friday, it's Friday. Yes, you are watching Kwak TV, because why watch crap TV where you can watch Kwak TV with me, Callum with a K, and it is Friday. So whilst, I've got to do this at the beginning, if you watch this on replay, please put hashtag replay in the comments, but if you are watching this live, like the fabulous Chelsea White right now, make sure you jump in the comments and say good morning to me, because it is Friday. We're there. Another week's done, and we're at the weekend. We're at that mark. And how has your week been? My week has been fabulous. It's been fabulous. I've got the launch of my flight school next week, which is part of Kwak Academy. That starts on Monday. So I've already got all the places filled on that from Monday. So it's my 5-day program. I cannot wait. I've been ironing all the last minute little details to make sure that that is brilliant next week. And there's a key word I said there, brilliant, right? Brilliant/brilliance. And the lady I am going to be bringing on very shortly, the one and only Miss Jenny Gordon, is the brilliance coach. And she's the person that goes into your box. Weird when I say that. And she finds your brilliance. Good morning, Mr. Ben Kelly. I can see your name. I can see your name, Ben. We struggle with this sometimes. Good morning. So how has your week been, like I said? Drop in the comments. How's your week been? My week has been fabulous. I've had a great week. I just one of them really nice weeks. And do you know what I did on Wednesday? I took a day off. I didn't wait till the weekend on Wednesday. I took a day off. Shh, don't tell anyone. Don't tell. No, you can. I don't care. I'm proud of it. So, yes, it's been an absolute fabulous week. Chelsea, I'm overdone it this week, so I'm working from my bed with a heat pad on my shoulders. Well, you're a daft sod, aren't you? That's what you are. You shouldn't have overdone it. Lesson learned. Don't overdo it, my love. Do not overdo it. So, as I said, it is Friday. I've had a fabulous week. I hope you've all had a fabulous week too. And one question I've been asking all this week, which was inspired by the fabulous Taz Thornton, is how can you channel something from your childhood by Monday? What can you do by Monday? So when Taz Thornton set this last week on Clubhouse, she set the challenge that by that Monday, so the Monday beginning this week, we all had to do something to channel our inner child. What was something we used to do? That without breaking the bank or breaking our backs, could we do by Monday to bring out that inner child? And mine was Play-Doh. Or, when I was growing up, it was called plasticine. It was quite a lot cheaper. You did have the branded Play-Doh. But, my mum used to get the cheap one. It was a pack, and it used to come in really thin wafers. It was all stuck together in a little pack, and it was about £1. Like, it was great. My mum used to get us that every now and again when she saw it. So I was like, right, well, I don't think that exists anymore. So I had to get Play-Doh. And I made a blue elephant. So what could you do by next week, by Monday, to channel that inner child? There we go. So I've also got good. Your week has dragged on. Well, I don't like the sound of that, Ben. I don't like the sound of that. So what now you need to do? You need to think about your week. What has dragged, and how can you make it not drag next week? Right? What can you do? Good morning, Lauren Simmons. Woo! I love this girl. She's fabulous. I absolutely love her. Good morning, Mr. Dominic Fenton, the activity connector. I've got to say that every time. I don't know why. I just have. I just really have. So as we know, every morning on Kwak TV, I do go through different days of the year, different Twitter hashtags, sometimes Google Trends, sometimes weird and wonderful news, and everything else in between. So your days of the year today, you can utilize these on your social media. It is Levi Strauss Day. Levi is in the jeans. It is Levi Day. It's also Personal Chef Day. Yeah, I ain't got the coin for that. It's Personal Chef Day. It is also For Pete's Sake Day. Is in like, oh, for Pete's sake. It's For Pete's Sake Day. And it's also Pistachio Nut Day. Okay, there we go. Do you know what I found weird? That you can get milk from almond, you can get like soy milk and everything like that. You don't get pistachio milk, do you? You don't. It'd be bright green. It'd be rank. There we go. So then also your Twitter hashtags for this morning are as follows. Hashtag Friday Feeling. And also hashtag Friday Thoughts. Hashtags Friday Motivation. And I think that is it. So hashtag Friday Feeling. Hashtag Friday Thoughts. Hashtags Friday Motivation. I will spit my words out. So there we go. Use them hashtags as you will throughout the day whilst you do everything you do. That sounds like an excuse to buy pistachio ice cream. I think it is. Oh, I love pistachio ice cream. Oh, I love it. Absolutely love it. And then I like this, Ben. Who is Pete, though? I don't know, but for Pete's sake, I feel sorry for him. Oh, it's been one of them weeks. So, with no further ado, today's guest, who I'm about to bring on, is a fabulous lady. You know, she represents pearls, she represents diamonds, but the best bit is she makes sure you know yours. You know, she makes sure to find that inner pearl, that inner diamond within yourself, because sometimes we struggle to find it. So, with no further ado, I'm bringing on the one, the only, Jenny Gordon. Good morning, Jenny.
Good morning, Callum. How are you?
I'm good. I'm feeling it today. I'm feeling it. I've woke up quite early this morning. I've had a nice, slow but good start to the day. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. What about yourself?
Well, the sun's shining here today. It is -1. It's really frosty and crisp outside. I've only looked at it through the window. But it is fabulous. So it's sun shining. And I don't know about you, but when the sun shines, I always think that it lifts your spirits, doesn't it? Or it certainly lifts mine.
Yes.
And I think, oh yeah, I'm on it. And I'm delighted to be here.
Good. This is what I like. This is what I like. Oh, I absolutely love it. So, how has a couple of questions? Imagine I've got a giant prodding stick, right? I'm just going to sit here. I'm just going to keep prodding you with it.
Basically, me with
That's all
a
I'm going to do. So, how would you say the start to your year has been?
I'm not a lover of January.
Okay.
And I'm not that fussed about February. I try to call it February, to kind of increase my joy about it. But I think in another life I was probably a bear, and so hibernation always seems a great thing for me. I love the sun, and in January we don't get a lot of it, do we, in the UK?
No, we don't.
And I would normally go to Florida for Christmas or Thanksgiving because my eldest son lives there. So I get my fix of sunshine so that when I have to live through January and February, I think that's okay, I've got it. And obviously that didn't happen this year. So January, I thought was going to be really long and slow and sloggy. And actually it wasn't. It's gone really fast. And I think it's I got through it. It felt
Good.
a little bit like a Porsche running on 2-star petrol, which I'm old enough to remember 2-star and 4-star, because I get my energy from the outside world of other people in 4D, hugging them, and I can't do that at the moment. So, but you know, they're kind of 2-star petrol. It works.
I love it. Love it. So, Jenny, just in case people don't know who you are and what you do, who are you and what you'd have to do a full elevator pitch if you don't like to. Who are you and what do you do?
That existential question, who am I? So we won't go there. I am the brilliance coach at Genuine Consulting, and I help people rediscover, reconnect, and reclaim their brilliance. And the bit is really important because I thoroughly believe that we're all born brilliant. And gradually over the years, what happens is that our brilliance gets kind of squashed, and potentially we put it in a box. So here's a box, and we keep that box in a cupboard, and we know it's there, possibly, or maybe we forget it's there, and then you chuck jumpers on it and scarves and other stuff on it, and it gets hidden. And then when you're having occasionally a clear out, you get it out and you think, oh my God, that's dusty. And then you open it and you think, well, I'm not sure what's in here. Oh, it's another bag, it's a box. And then inside are pearls or diamonds. And what I love about pearls is that they're all different shapes. They're all there isn't one that's the same. They're all different colours. They have a kind of really fabulous luster, and they're made, the oyster makes them from grit. So that irritation in the oyster, it gets some grit or grits put in its shell. The oyster doesn't have any choice. It's a bit shit, that grit. It's irritating, it's uncomfortable, it doesn't like it. The oyster can't spit it out. It just has to deal with it. And the way the oyster deals with it is to make a pearl. So it makes something fabulous out of something awful.
Yeah.
And I think as humans, we have an innate capacity to be able to do that, but sometimes we need a bit of help to make the pearl, or even to understand that we've made a pearl, because it might not feel like it. When you're making the pearl, it can feel quite uncomfortable, can't it? I bet the oyster doesn't like it very much.
Exactly. Do you know what? You've touched on like several things there. Obviously, I'm not a professional in this. This is what you do. So it is natural in life to admit and understand that you are irritated by something and something has gotten under your skin. It happens to all of us. You know, it does, doesn't it? You know, it happens to all of us. And like you're saying, you know, sometimes we may not acknowledge it, or it gets under our skin a little bit too far. And, you know, we don't acknowledge that and don't think about it. And then it starts to, with what Chelsea has just said, the world dulls our sparkle. You know, and you are the glamorous polishing cloth. And
oh, I've been called many things, but never a glamorous polishing cloth. I'm going to write that down, Chelsea. Thank you very much.
But honestly, and it's so important. You know, don't get me wrong, you know, I come across very confident, very extroverted. Do I have my moments? Absolutely. You know, absolutely do I have my moments. You know, I can have a quiet week, and because of how I'm quite happy to say how successful I'm becoming, not that I am, I'm becoming, you know, it's that old time you get that inner saboteur, you get that grit, you know, and you do. And it can dampen or affect. If I go with diamonds over pearls, you know, for me, it can, that little bit of darkness or that bag or that box can hide away that diamond, that sparkle. And, you know, it's like you're saying, you might get grit under your skin, but don't let it irritate you. Turn it into a pearl. You already are there. You know, let's do something with that.
And your point about diamonds. So quite often, there's two things about diamonds. The first thing is that in order for them to sparkle, they need to be out. They need to be out. You need to get them out of your box. Callum, I was worried about that when I said that to you.
Sorry, don't worry.
Get them out of your box. Get your jewels out. Because if you diamonds only sparkle, you know, they can be worth a huge amount of money. They can be really precious, but if they're in a box in a safe and nobody gets to see them, then you might as well not have them, mightn't you? And I think the other thing is that when you said we don't always recognize a diamond, sometimes when we're good at something, or it's a natural talent, or we've practiced it a lot, and it's become part of who we are, actually we don't recognize it as a diamond. We think, oh, everybody can do that. And actually, not everybody can. So one of the things I'm good at is helping people understand where their diamonds are hidden.
Yeah, no, completely. So I can imagine, Jenny, like sometimes the word brilliant or brilliance, it's a word a lot of people doesn't believe probably doesn't belong in their vocabulary. You know, they probably go, I'm good, but I'm not brilliant. You know, they can always have a caveat with it. You know, it's, that word is like, for me, I very, very, no, let me rephrase that. I don't really use the word proud, because for me to be proud in something, I have accomplished something. So for me, that word is more of a mentality. You know, when I do use it, I have accomplished what I wanted, therefore I am proud. And a lot of people might see that as the word brilliant. You know, I can't be brilliant because there's this and there's that and there's this and there's that. And this is where you come in, because you're like, no, you are brilliant. Shit just happens.
And also, if you think of a diamond or an emerald or a sapphire, doesn't matter what they are, when they come out of the rock, when they're dug out of the mine, they don't sparkle. They just look like a lump of rock. Even the diamondiest diamond doesn't look like a diamond when it's first mined. It looks like a chunk of rock. And it's the cutting that makes it shine, and brings out kind of its sparkle. And the cutting is the oyster equivalent of grit. So those facets, I call it the palace of infinite rooms. So when we're born, when we're children, we've got that palace of infinite rooms in our heads.
Yep.
And those rooms are like all the emotions and all the feelings on the planet, all of them.
Yep.
And over the years, people basically we shut them ourselves, shut the door and go, oh, no, 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 you can't be selfish. You can't be proud. You can't be brilliant. You can't be this. You can't, in order to fit in or to another kind of box, in order to be acceptable,
Yeah.
and I use that in inverted commas, you have to be this way. So that palace of infinite rooms in our childhood heads ends up being a 2-bedroom masonette in Dagenham. And if there's anybody from Dagenham listening, I apologize. There's nothing wrong with Dagenham. But it's the smallness that we become. And so the cut of the diamond is about embracing those facets, reopening all those doors and getting your duster out and going, right, okay, actually it is okay to be angry, it is okay to be frightened, it is okay to be all those things. They're just, if we can change the way we talk about emotions rather than going, oh, that's good, that's bad. Actually what we say is they are all just, they're facets of who we are, and we all have them. So those things that irritate you might be different to the ones that irritate me. They might be the same. We've all got them. So understanding what they are is what helps you shine.
Do you know what? You've reminded me of a phrase. It wasn't a quote, a saying that I got told when I was an events manager, and it was by my boss above me, and I can't remember it in Arabic. I can remember what it means, and basically, it's there's a jeweler and there's a blacksmith, and you are the blacksmith. So for anyone that is wondering what I'm meaning, I'm trying to think of how to word this properly so I don't get it wrong with what you're saying. We are a jeweler. Each and every one of us is a jeweler. And what we have inside of us, we have that gem. We have that we have that stone. And what we do is we will, every now and again, we will tap away at it to make sure we cut it, like you're saying, perfectly. You know, we will cut it. And a jeweler goes tap, 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 tap away. And that's what a jeweler does. They take their time and they look precisely at it and everything like that. You're a blacksmith. Because what you're doing, going, instead of you trying to find it, I'm going to come in and do it in one fell swoop. I'm going to tell you what your brilliance is. Right? So it's like you could tap away and try and smooth out this rock. I bet you wondered where I was going with this.
I was a bit worried. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to burn people.
No, a jeweler taps away, but a blacksmith does it in one strike. And and that's where you can come in. Instead of someone worrying about trying to find that brilliance, you can come in and go, this is what you're brilliant at. This is your brilliance. I'm telling you. So instead of them being a jeweler and tapping away at this stone, you can come away and go, don't get me wrong, you're not like smashing a piece of glass bottle, but it's kind of the thing. You just made me think of the quote because this person said it in a form of confidence. There was meaning, these people that'll tap away at your confidence. Then there's a blacksmith that'll come in and just do the work in one go and make sure that they shut up. And there was just so many ways you could take this phrase. It was just reminding me of it. For me, you are a form of a blacksmith. You instead of us tapping away trying to perfect this brilliance we've got inside of us, it's already there. You just
think that's the thing. It's I would describe it as opening the cupboard, opening the box and saying actually, and it's the thing. So it's that thing about you already have it. You might just have lost it, and lots of things. Like Ben said, if you've had a bad week, then it can feel like you've got somebody's locked the cupboard, and you don't feel brilliant. And I also think as a country, the UK, and I'm again old enough to remember that actually blowing your own trumpet was seen as a bad thing.
Yeah.
So when you talked about, oh well, we can't say we're brilliant, and I want to change the conversation. I was listening to the radio the other day, and they were doing a thing about school reports and things your teachers said about you.
Yep.
These were people 30 years or more later who still remembered that stingy report where a teacher had said, Jeffrey will never amount to anything because he's crap at geography. And what happens is the thing with words, what happens is that Jeffrey then believes that he's no good at geography, and he goes home and his mum says, oh, your granny wasn't good at geography. She couldn't find a way out of a paper bag. So you've inherited being bad at geography. And then other teachers who read the report go, oh, Jeffrey's not great at geography. Actually, do you know, he's probably not good at physics either. And even subconsciously, that line impacts what all those other teachers think about Jeffrey. So before you know it, Jeffrey's kind of got this belief that he isn't good at geography. And then he goes out to his mate, you know, with his mates to play football. They say to him, how'd you get on today at school? He says, oh, I'm no good at geography. And his mate goes, oh, I'm not good at geography either.
Do you know what?
And they sit in their comfort zone, and it becomes their comfort zone of, I'm not good at geography.
I've got a story that ties in perfectly with this, but it's not really weird. It was more something that was said. I went to the same. I'm the youngest of four, but me and my brother went to the same school, and he was a sports prodigy, right? He was. He's a professional rugby player now. He was a sports prodigy, and my mum and my two older sisters, the youngest of the two, had this exact same problem as well. Would go to a parents' evening. She'll get the reports, etc., like that. Oh, he's not as good in sports as his brother. Oh, I forgot his books. His brother won't forget his books, though. My mum would go to the parents' evening, and I remember this precisely. He was a lovely teacher, and my mum corrected him straight away when we sat down and went, oh, lovely to see him. Her surname's different to mine. You know, it's, how's Lewis? And she went, I'm not here for Lewis. I'm here for Callum. And my mum was the one that always corrected them. I'm not here for Lewis. I'm here for Callum. I'm like, this isn't a negative thing on my mum or my brother's side. But because of how air quote, successful my brother was, they couldn't see my success because
it's a classic example of comparisonitis, which is what my book's about, which I'm just finishing at the moment. But it's that changing the language. So if I can leave you with one message it's about actually, you know, words are like viruses, and you can insidiously and by accident pass on that comparisonitis bug to somebody else just by saying exactly that. Oh, you're not like your brother, are you? You're not like your sister, or you don't. So be very careful when you are. The only person you should ever compare yourself with is you. Nobody else. But we're all really good at it, and we do it when we're most susceptible at times of transition. So when you're changing your career, you're changing your business, you're changing your job, you get married, you get unmarried, you have children, all of those times are a bit like, that's the potential when the old grit gets in, and then you've got that worry of, oh, I'm not the imposter syndrome, am I not as good as them, I'm not doing it right, somebody's more successful than I am. Success is just a word like anything else.
I love it. Absolutely love it. And do you know what? That was a really good note to finish on. So honestly, thank you so much. I'd love to get you on for a part 2 in the future as well, because we're going to start talking a bit more about your book that's coming out and things like that. So we'll get you back on the show. But Jenny, thank you so much. That was a really, really nice note to leave us on.
Oh, thank you so much for having me, and have a fabulous weekend. And it's the end of February. We're in March. That's spring.
Oh, God, it is. You know, it is. We're there, people. We're there. Jenny, have a lovely day. Have a lovely weekend. And I'm sure I'll see you later on today, or I'll see you next week.
You will. Thank you so much for having me, Callum. Take care.
Bye. Oh, I love that woman. So you have been watching Kwak TV, because why watch crap TV when we can watch Kwak TV? Now, don't run off. Monday, I've got the one and the only Vicky Midwood. Next week is Eating Disorders Week. And Vicky Midwood helps people with addiction and eating disorders. She's the eliminator of them. And it's such an important week next week. And it's such an important live on Monday. So make sure you tune in on Monday. Vicky's an absolute hoot, and I cannot wait. But on that note, have a fabulous weekend. And I've started saying this because I say it quite a lot. But if you can't be good, be careful. If you can't be careful, don't get caught.